Patriots going against Jarrett Stidham this weekend.
Stidham.
You also heard Cam Newton in there.
I mean, clown show. Who's good? I would like to know who's good.
It's a great question. They beat Buffalo.
They beat Buffalo.
They also lost to Buffalo, if he wants to point that out. Fair. They beat the Chargers and Texans. I thought both were good.
So those are 3 playoff teams.
Yeah.
They're in the AFC title game.
Now, he also said earlier in that clip, I may have asked Nick to trim it out, but he did say it might be one of the easier paths to a Super Bowl in history, which I'm not sure he's wrong about that.
It's up there. There are a few, though. Like, we talked about the Patriots beat Mariota and Bortles, I think, one year to make it to the Super Bowl.
But
so Patriots have had some easy ones.
To this point, I would argue the Rams have had an easier road to the championship game than the Patriots have.
Bryce Young and the 8-9 Panthers. And then who they beat last week?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was so the Texans
are probably better than the Bears.
Full strength. They didn't have Nico Collins.
Nico, yeah.
And the Chargers to me are way different. All their injuries they pretty much had all year. They're way different. But the Nico one and then
I think
Stidham,
they've gotten some breaks.
That's real.
Like they've gotten some breaks, but like some fool's gold. Like
I'm not saying that.
No, I know you're not. I just think it's his line that he keeps going back to, and he's sticking with it. He's sort of dug in now on it. But it's like, all right, they've gotten a break because they're not facing a starting quarterback on the other side. But there's only 4 teams left. They're favored in this one. So then what? They're going to get to the Super Bowl and, like, who knows? Somebody will probably get hurt in the NFC Championship game. They'd be like, they were never good. It's like, okay, so I guess they were never good.
Or they face Sam Darnold, and everybody does what I'll do, which is like, Sam Darnold.
It is funny. The one great season Cam Newton had, they went 15-1. They had the easiest strength of schedule,
they did.
I think, of any team to make the Super Bowl, and then they lost. They played a real team, the Broncos.
I expected the Panthers to win that Super Bowl. I don't know where you were at on that.
I forget. I always bet against Manning, so I probably did bet Panthers.
I expected him to win.
Didn't fall on a fumble, and the rest is history. But he's completely dug in on it. He's kind of clownish, which is too bad because Cam Newton, when he was here and he would do the morning interview on Greg's show, that was the best part about him. He was terrible on the field, but then he was like a great personality. And now I think he's just been so like, the only thing that really catches on is if I like yell and scream and like I'm the only one saying it. And it's like, all right, we'll see how long this lasts.
Right.
But, like, you're trending
Don't get
towards,
mad that I'm stacks and facts.
Stacks and facts. But, like, you're turning into, like, remember, like, a Rob Parker who would, like, say, like, these outlandish things? Now, he didn't have the playing career.
Even Orlovsky's doing the same thing Orlovsky's doing.
Orlovsky's getting out of hand, too.
Yeah, he's Orlovsky.
Yeah, that's true.
He's walking down, this is the old Andy Hart saying. He's, like, going down Orlovsky Way.
He is a little bit.
Down Orlovsky Lane or whatever he used to say.
Because they all want to be on Stephen A's show as many times as they can be, and they feel like the only way Stephen A will want them back is if they're like screaming off like this. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work for him. I feel like it's a sort of a short shelf life, but I feel like he's going to be screaming about the Patriots all the way until they're like hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and having like a duck boat parade.
Look, having doubts about the Pats or saying their path is easy, I don't think any of that's a problem. Saying they're fool's gold,
stupid
at this point, I think is pretty foolish.
I think it's pretty bad to go there. I think where he might pivot to is like the whole league's bad, and at that point you're like, okay, fine. Like if you want to go that way. Because you can't keep it like, who they beat? Like, they haven't beaten anybody. It's like, well, who's left? They're beating every team they're playing.
Right.
Like, so who do you want them to play? Who's this great team that's out there?
And, like, again, I'd acknowledge that Stidham is a gift in the AFC Championship game. That is an easy path. It would be a choke if they lose to him. I know people don't want to hear that. I feel that way.
It's similar to the Celtics. We brought up the Celtics run a lot. I still think it's a great team. They were kind of fortunate. Like, there weren't a lot of fully healthy teams on that path.
I think they would have beat Miami at full strength. I think they would have beat Cleveland at full strength. I think they would have beat Indiana at full strength. We'll never know because those teams weren't.
Didn't happen.
So I think all of those things are fair to point out. When you say you still think they're fool's gold and they're in the Final Four and they're favored to win, favored to win the AFC title game.
Yeah,
I think that sounds a little ridiculous.
Tough go.
Meanwhile, all the finalists for various awards came out today.
Yeah, I saw that. I love a good award show.
Drake May is an MVP finalist. That should shock nobody.
No.
Along with Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Christian McCaffrey.
I feel like it's going to be every first and second place vote is going to go to May and Stafford.
Yep.
And then there'll be a big drop-off, probably Allen 3, but I guess really who cares? Now, there is precedent.
I think it'll be Allen.
Yeah, I think there is precedent, though. Last year, you can still be second-team All-Pro and be the MVP, because I know when the All-Pros came out and Stafford was first-team All-Pro, everyone's like, it's a case closed. Maybe not. And I think the fact that Puka Nacua is going to be the Offensive Player of the Year
You think he will be? Because May's a finalist for that as well.
I'm surprised.
Do you read anything into this? Nick brought this up before the show. So, Offensive Player of the Year finalists. May was an MVP finalist, as was Stafford. May is an Offensive Player of the Year finalist. Stafford is not.
Yeah, I found that odd. He's the only quarterback.
Correct. McCaffrey, Nakua, JSN, and Bijan are the other finalists.
Yeah,
so
maybe it's the way he runs, I guess, compared to Stafford. So they add that to the mix.
Or is it telling you a little something about, well, I don't know, he's not the MVP, but he might be the Offensive Player of the Year, and it's a tell that Stafford's the MVP.
It could be. I mean, I think it's going to be Stafford. I do think Stafford's going to win based on all these guys like Brady.
Before these finalists were released.
I thought it before that. I am surprised. So the MVP, they have 4 quarterbacks, 1 non-quarterback. Offensive Player, it's 4 non-quarterbacks, 1 quarterback. I think Puka Nakua is going to win, or I think he should win, and then I think that means that Stafford shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But I don't.
Yeah, how can you be the MVP if you're not the best offensive player on your team?
It's a great question.
It is.
Patriots were well represented. Trevion Henderson, an Offensive Rookie of the Year finalist.
Yeah, good for him.
Mike Vrabel, a Coach of the Year finalist.
Henderson has a chance to win. I think it'll be Tet.
I also
is Tet the favorite?
So.
I feel like Tet McMillan will probably win.
He's definitely the favorite.
Because Shuck and Dart are both on there, but I don't think they played enough. And then Emeka Ibuka was awesome, but then he was hurt. So
I think that's a close race. I wouldn't forecast Henderson winning, but I do think he has a chance. Vrabel's a Coach of the Year finalist. Josh McDaniels is an assistant coach finalist, coordinator basically. So apparently all New England beat writers voted on that one. Let's see. Comeback Player of the Year. Diggs has a chance. It's Prescott, McCaffrey, Hutchinson, Lawrence, and Diggs. So those are all the groups there. And then one other note, the Patriots didn't have a finalist here, but it does tell you a little something about what you're going up against this week. The Defensive Players of the Year. Garrett's got that wrapped up. Other finalists are Hutchinson, Parsons, Will Anderson, who you just saw, and Nick Bonito, who you're about to see this weekend.
Yeah, pretty good run back-to-back. I mean, these defenses, especially, and not to look past Denver, but if you play Seattle, you'll have played the 3 best defenses, and then the Chargers were no slouch. They're one of the 6 or 7 best defenses, so that's quite a run they'll be going up against.
617-779-7937. You can jump in on this. A lot of Patriots and Broncos talk all week long. We have some thoughts on the Ron Herr? Ranger Suarez press conference yesterday.
The new Red Sox.
Craig Breslow with some interesting comments about Suarez and about more moves potentially in store for the Red Sox. We'll talk to Bradfo next hour as well, so stay tuned for all of it. Coming up next on WEEI.